In this lecture, we will discuss stationary point, maxima, minima and saddle points of a two-variable real-valued function. So let us start. Suppose f is a function from a subset S of Rn to R. We say f has a absolute maximum at a point A of S if fx is less than or equal to fa for all x in S. Fa is called absolute maximum value of on S. The reason is obvious because fa is greater than or equal to fx for all x. That's why it is called absolute maximum value of on S. The function f is said to have relative maximum at a point A of S if fx is less than or equal to fa for all x in some small ball b epsilon a contained in x. So it means for determining relative maximum, it is necessary that if I am taking a point A in S, then there exists epsilon such that a very small ball of radius epsilon at A is contained in S. So this simply means that this A is an interior point of S. So relative maximum is determined at interior point. Okay. Now, as we have defined absolute maximum and relative maximum, on the same way we can define absolute minimum and relative minimum. So what is absolute minimum? We say f has absolute minimum at a point A of S is if fx is greater than or equal to fa for all x in S. Fa is called the absolute minimum value of on S. Now let us define relative minimum. The function f is said to have relative minimum at a point A of S if fx is greater than or equal to fa for all x in some small ball at A of radius epsilon contained in S. So again the same thing, that relative minimum is discussed at the interior point of S. These all definitions has been taken from the book of T.M. Apostle Calculus volume 2. So you can go and see this book for more details. Even the definitions which we are going to define, that is the definition of stationary point, has also been taken from that book. Now, again, suppose f is a function from a subset A of R2 to R, and this is a differentiable function at a point A in A. Now, if gradient of f at A is 0, then A is called a stationary point of f. Stationary points are also called critical point. Both are same thing, stationary or critical. So once again, what is a stationary point? If the gradient of f at that point is 0, then that point is called a stationary point. Some stationary points are saddle point. So what is saddle? A stationary point A is called saddle point if each open ball b epsilon a contains some point x such that fx is less than fa and some point y such that fy is greater than fa. Means what? Let us understand it by figure. Suppose this is the set A and we have a point A. Suppose A is the interior point of the set, and for all epsilon, if we consider a ball b epsilon a, then inside that ball there are some points x such that fx is less than fa and there are some points y in this ball such that fy is greater than fa. If this condition holds, then that point A is called saddle point of the function f. Now come to the Hessian matrix. Suppose that A is an open subset of R2 and f is a function from A to R such that D11f means, you can put comma here. For my convenience I have removed this comma, so if you have confusion then you can put comma here, as we have done in the previous lecture 7 of functions of several variables. But I will not write this comma. So whenever I will not write comma, you will feel that there is a comma, and the definition is as we have defined in the lecture 7 of functions of several variables. Okay, so for my convenience I am removing all this comma, and where there is no comma you will feel that there is a comma. So these are the second order partial derivatives. So all these second order partial derivative exist, and also they are continuous on A. Then the 2 cross 2 matrix HFXY defined as D11FXY, D12FXY, D21FXY and D22FXY. These matrices are called Hessian matrix of F at xy. Now, as we have seen in the lecture 7, that if these partial derivatives exist and are continuous, that is D12f and D21f exist and continuous, then both are equal. So it means here also D12f and D21f exist and equal. So this is actually a symmetric matrix. In fact, it is a real symmetric matrix. You know that eigenvalues of real symmetric matrices are real numbers. Now, one more thing, there is a lot of confusion, maximum or maxima. Sometimes we are using maxima and sometimes using maximum. So what is actually the maxima? Maxima is plural of maximum and minima is plural of minimum. So now we will discuss the test for maxima and minima of a function. So again the situation is f, suppose A is an open subset of Rn, f is a function from A to R, is a differentiable function on A such that all second order partial derivatives of f exist and continuous on A. Then we will do the following steps to determine stationary points, saddle points, maxima and minima of the functions. Now first we will determine the gradient of f at general point xy. Then we want to determine the stationary point, and stationary points are those points for which the gradient of f is 0. So what we will do is that we will determine the gradient of f at general point. We will put it to be equal to 0. This is 0. And actually this is a vector. It has 2 coordinate. So this 0 means 0, 0 because we are in R2. So this 0 means actually 0, 0. So if you have a confusion, then this is 0 means 0, 0 actually. So don't be confused with it, but simply we will write 0. So this 0 means 0, 0. This is a vector quantity. And so what we will do, we will determine the gradient. We will put that gradient to be equal to 0, 0. And we will solve this equation. Whatever the solution will be, that is the value of xy, this value of xy will give us the point x, y, and these points are called stationary points. So we will equate it to 0 and calculate it solve it to get the value of x and y, and those points will be the stationary points. So in this way we can determine the stationary point. So now come to the step 2. Suppose A belongs to A is a stationary point of f. Then what we will do is that we will determine HA. HA mean H f of A. So for our convenience, again I am not writing f here. I will simply write HF. I will simply write HA. So I am not writing f here. Okay. Now determine HA means Hessian matrix of f at A, and determine the determinant of Hessian matrix of f at A. If this determinant is 0, then this test which we are doing is not valid. This test fails. We cannot say anything about the point. If the determinant is non-zero, then we do the step 3. So what is step 3? If determinant is less than 0, then f has a saddle point at A. Note one thing, determinant is less than 0 simply means that the two eigenvalues of HA has opposite sign, that is, one is positive, another is negative. So if determinant is less than 0, then A is the saddle point. Now if determinant of HA is greater than 0 and D11 FA is greater than 0, then f has relative minimum at A. This condition is equivalent to that both eigenvalues are positive. Think over it. Now if determinant of HA is greater than 0 and D11 FA is less than 0, then f has relative maximum at the point A. And this condition is equivalent to that both eigenvalues exist and their value is negative. Okay. Now in this way, for each stationary point we will do this calculation. We will decide it. After deciding, suppose we have 4, 5 relative minimum, then out of that relative minimum, which one is the smallest, that is called absolute minimum, and out of some relative maximum, which one is maximum in all these, that is called absolute maximum of the function, absolute maximum value of the function. So let us do one example. Example number 1. Suppose f is this function. This is from R2 to R. So we determine the gradient of f, that is 2x, 2, y minus 1. We will put it to be 0. After putting it 0, we solve it to get x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. So 0, 1 is the stationary point of f. Now we determine the Hessian matrix of f at the point 0, 1. So D11 F01, D12 F01, D21 F01 and D22 F01. And now we determine the value of D11 F, that is del 2 upon del x square of this, which turns out to be 2 at 0, 1, D12 0, D21 0 and D22 F01 we determine that turns out to be 2. So we put all these values in the Hessian matrix. This is 2 0 0 2. Determinant of this matrix is 4, which is greater than 0, and D11 F01 at 0 1 is 2, which is greater than 0. So by our test which we have discussed, this is the point of relative minimum. Since there is not any another relative minimum, so f has absolute minimum value at 0 1. If we want to determine the value, then put x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1 in the function to get the absolute minimum value of the function. So in next lecture we will discuss more examples. Thank you.